Sometimes life cracks us open in ways we never expect. For me, that breaking became a doorway to stillness, clarity, and coming home to myself. Welcome to the Conscious Pause, a space where we slow down, turn inward, and explore the landscape within with curiosity and compassion. This podcast is your invitation to step out of the rush of everyday life and reconnect with yourself. Together, we explore what it means to heal, to grow, and to live with intention through mindfulness, reflection, and real conversation. Let's take a deep breath together and begin. Everything we'll talk about, the science, the practices, the power of the pause, I didn't learn from books or research papers first. I learned it because I had no other choice. In early 2024, my stress went off the Richter scale, so to speak. I'd been in a relationship, what became a toxic relationship, with someone I had considered one of my closest friends, someone I trusted deeply, and someone I believed in. Then I discovered he betrayed my trust, not once, but multiple times over the years. While making promises to me, he was seeking comfort elsewhere. While talking about our future, he was looking to build one with someone else. When I confronted the situation, instead of honesty or accountability, I found myself facing criminal charges based on exaggerated accusations. A cop even showed up at my front door, threatening to take me to jail right then and there, or I could promise to appear in court. These were charges I would have to fight through the legal system for months to clear my name. This was retaliation, pure and simple, all for saying I would tell others the truth. The mental and emotional stress was unbearable. I took 3 months off work because I was drowning in anxiety and depression. Some days, getting out of bed felt impossible. My mind was a constant loop of fear, anger, shame, and disbelief. Knowing I couldn't continue in this state, I began working with a compassionate psychotherapist. And in one of our sessions, she made a seemingly simple suggestion to try meditating, even for 10 minutes a day, she said. Now, people had suggested meditation to me over the years, and I dismissed it, thinking there's no way I could quiet my racing thoughts. Certainly not for 10 minutes, not even 2. But in that moment, with her, in that depth of despair, I was willing to try anything. So I looked for a local meditation group and found the Center for Mindfulness in Muskoka. I showed up to a Monday night session with a room full of strangers and sat in silence for the first time for 30 minutes. Not 10, 30. And you know what happened? Nothing dramatic, no immediate peace, no instant enlightenment, but I did it. I breathed. I noticed my racing thoughts. I noticed the tightness in my chest, the knot in my stomach, the exhaustion in my bones. And for those 30 minutes, I wasn't trying to fix any of it. I was just present with what was. Over the next year and a half, I did the inner work. Along with the daily meditation practice and continuing to work with my therapist, I took mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy courses, journaled, and learned about trauma and healing. And here's what I discovered, or maybe rediscovered. My strength, my resilience, my capacity for empathy and compassion, even for those who'd hurt me, and my power. The power to stand up for myself with confidence and a steady voice, to refuse to be destroyed by someone else's actions, to not stay down when someone tried to force me there. Through the legal process, the truth came out, and there was no finding of guilt. My name was cleared, and while that vindication mattered, what mattered more was this: I didn't lose myself. In fact, I'd found myself more fully than ever before. The practices of pausing, of mindful awareness, of returning again and again to the present moment, these gave me something no one could take away. They gave me the ability to meet my life exactly as it was, without judgment, without fear, and without being consumed by things outside of my control. I'm not saying meditation fixed everything. I'm not saying the pause erased the pain or made everything okay, or that I'm perfect now. But it gave me space to respond instead of react, space to choose how I wanted to move forward, space to remember that no matter what happened to me, I still had a choice over how I showed up in my own life. And from that space, I began to rebuild, not toward the person I used to be, I've outgrown that chapter, but into someone stronger, steadier, more aware, more grounded, and more trusting of my inner voice. So many of us face betrayal, loss, systems that fail us, people who hurt us, and find ourselves in a dark place where it feels like there's no way out. If you're there right now, if everything feels overwhelming and you can't see a way forward, I want you to know this: the pause can meet you there, not to fix you, not to make it all better instantly, but to give you space to breathe, space to be with what is, space to face your challenge, to discover that you're more resilient than you know. The pause isn't theoretical, it's lived experience, and now I get to share these practices with others like you. Whatever today brought up for you, may you meet yourself with compassion. May you speak to yourself the way you would to someone you love. You are worthy of that kindness, too. May you be gentle with yourself. You are allowed to unfold at your own pace. And remember, no single moment defines you. May you have the compassion and the courage to love yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me.